Hey, I'm outside today. I'm gonna read who would win, lobster versus crab. It's freezing out today, but we're out here. For all you remote learners, remote means you're not in your classroom, you're not in your school, you're somewhere else, and your teacher is remotely over there somewhere. Hi kids, remember, stay 6 feet from each other, wash your hands, and it's probably a good idea to leave your shoes at the door when you walk in the house. So here we go. What if a lobster and a crab bumped into each other? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? Which lobster should fight the crab? Spiny lobster from the Caribbean? Sorry, you are spiky but have no claws. Pink spotted prawn? No way, you are a shrimp, not a lobster. Shovel-nosed lobster? Nope, you are so strange looking. Go dig up a clam. Shovel-nosed lobster. American lobster? Perfect. 2 claws, the American lobster. Which crab should fight the lobster? Dungeness crab? Dungeness crab? No, it is famous in San Francisco and on the West Coast. Its shell is rubbery. Alaskan king crab? No, you have only 6 legs. You are popular in restaurants all over the world. Fact, crabs have 8 legs and 2 claws. Horseshoe crab? No, you are not even a crab. You look prehistoric. Blue crab? Blue crab? Yes, you are one of the best known crabs in the world and maybe the best tasting. Meet the lobster. The American lobster's scientific name is Homarus americanus. It lives off America's northeast and Canadian's east coasts. Fact, lobsters have a muscular tail. Fact, lobsters are in an animal family called Crustaceans. Wild fact, a lobster's teeth are in its stomach. The largest lobster was about 3 feet long and weighed 44 pounds. Meet the blue crab. This is a blue crab. It is the most popular crab in the world. Its scientific name is Calonectus sapidus, which means beautiful savory swimmer. Definition: savory means pleasant or agreeable in taste or smell. Bite fact: the blue crab can't bite with its mouth. A grinding mill inside its body chews its food. Did you know blue crabs are known as swimming crabs? Did you know a blue crab does not have a tail? The largest blue crab was about 1 foot wide and weighed a little more than 1 pound. Where do lobsters live? American lobsters live from North Carolina's coastline up to the Canadian East Coast. Lobsters can be found in shallow water close to shore and also in deep water miles out. Where do crabs live? Blue crabs are most often found from the south shore of Cape Cod in Massachusetts all the way down to the Texas-Mexican border. Chesapeake Bay is one of the most famous places for blue crabs. Fact, Chesapeake Bay is an estuary. An estuary is where the ocean meets a river. Bonus fact, more than 100 rivers and streams empty into the Chesapeake Bay. Did you know blue crabs love shallow, brackish water? Definition: brackish water is part salt and part freshwater. Lobster parts. The lobster's head and thorax is one piece. It's called a cephalothorax. A lobster has 8 legs, just like a spider and a scorpion. Fact, a lobster feeds itself with its front 4 legs. Okay kids, here's what's in the illustration. A scissors claw, a cruncher claw, antennae, mouth, eyes, knuckles, feeding legs, tail, cephalothorax. On land, a lobster cannot walk well. The front 2 legs on each side have pincers on them. How fast can the lobster? The speed limit is 1. It can go 1 mile per hour. Crab anatomy. The blue crab's body is one piece. It is called a carapace. Running fact, blue crab walks and runs sideways. Walking fact, a soldier crab is one of the few crabs that walks forward. Here's the parts of the crab, kids. Claws, eyes, antennae, carapace, swimming legs, walking legs. Swimming fact, the last pair of legs on a blue crab are shaped like fins. How fast can the crab go? 10 miles per hour. Wow, he's fast. Blue crabs can swim well, and they're also great runners. They can run fast on land. Is a crab a boy or a girl? A crusher claw of a male lobster is bigger and wider than a female crusher claw. The flaps under the tail are called swimmerets. You can tell a male lobster by the hard shell on the top swimmerette. Female lobsters have smaller string-like top swimmerette. Female lobster tails are wider than male lobster tails. Crabs have a flap between their legs and is called an apron or a leaf. The girl leaf is shaped like the Capitol Dome. Girl blue crabs have red tips on their claws. They look like painted fingernails. Boy blue crabs have a skinny leaf. Some say it is shaped like the Washington Monument. Term: a she crab is a young female crab. Lobster claws. The two claws of a lobster are different. The crusher claw is dull and the scissors claw is sharp. The crusher claw is slower and stronger and usually wider. The scissor claw is quicker and skinnier. Did you know some kids call the cruncher claw a ripper claw? Other kids call it a smasher claw and a slasher claw. Either claw could be on the right or the left. Crab pinchers. You can call them claws or pinchers. Both words are correct. Claw type. Blue crabs are not specialized. The claws of a blue crab are similar. Each claw is a mirror image of the other claw. Question: is this blue crab a male or a female? Answer: the clues you'll need are on page 13. Well, you can tell it's a male blue crab because it doesn't have red tips on the end of its claws that look like nail polish. Lobster bait. Most lobsters are caught by traps. Traps are baited with fish heads, fish guts, and fish bones. Synonym: lobster traps are also called lobster pots. There's the buoy, there's the rope, and there's the trap. Other bait. Lobstermen also set their traps with deer hides, hot dogs, chicken necks, steak bones, and even roadkill. Buoy color. The buoy is a marker that floats on the top of the water. Lobstermen can tell their gear by the colors of the buoy. Question: if you were a lobsterman or a lobster woman, what color would your buoy be? Catch a crab. Blue crabs are caught by crab pots, trot lines, and by dip net. Bait fact: crabbers that fish with trot lines usually use chicken necks for bait. Fun fact: kids catch blue crabs by dangling bait on a string and scooping crabs up with a net, called a dip net or a butterfly net. Size fact: some crab traps are only the size of a loaf of bread. Crabs love fresh bait. Chicken, fish, steak, or any meat works well. Exoskeleton. Lobsters have an exoskeleton, which is a hard shell on the outside of their bodies. To grow larger, lobsters have to climb out of their shells and then grow a larger shell. This is called molting. There's the old exoskeleton, then there's the molting soft shell lobster. Hard shell, a lobster with a hard shell. Fact: the younger a lobster is, the more it molts. Gross fact: after molting, a lobster eats its old shell. Soft shell, a recently molted lobster whose shell is delicate. Molting. Crabs also have an exoskeleton and molt to grow larger. Did you know a peeler is a crab about to shed its shell? Definition: a hard shell is a crab that is not molting and has a hard shell. So in the book, there's the old exoskeletons and the molting soft shell crab. Soft shell. A soft shell is a crab that has just shed its shell. Fact: a crustacean that molts is vulnerable to predators while in a soft state. That book was Who Would Win? Lobster versus Crab. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You kids can finish it for me. I read 20 pages. The book's 32 pages long. You can find my books at jerrypallotta.com or at scholastic.com/bookclubs. I hope you read along with your classmates and with your teacher, and I hope you all get back to school soon.